Chase Freedom Unlimited is a cashback credit card where you earn a percentage back from every purchase you make. But this cashback that you earn is not literal cash, it's in the form of Chase Ultimate Rewards points. The points can be converted directly to cash as they market, but after having Chase credit cards for nearly 5 years now, I've learned ways that if you use the points properly, you can gain tremendous value from them. And I mention that because if you decide to use Chase credit cards, you may eventually end up considering the Chase Trifecta, which is what I have and includes the Freedom Unlimited, Freedom Flex, and the Sapphire, either preferred or reserved, which I have the preferred. So the reason this is so valuable and why I'm mentioning it at the beginning of this video is because if you decide to get a Chase Sapphire card, it gives you access to transfer your points to any of the travel partners of Chase. This is basically a way for you to use the points you earn from any of the cards, whether it's the Freedom Unlimited or the Freedom Flex, because you can transfer the points you get from those cards to a Sapphire card, which will get you great value when it comes to traveling. I'm going to cover more on this later in the video, but all in all, being able to do this is more than likely going to be the best place for you to get the maximum value on your cashback rewards points that you earn over time. And since this is more than likely your first Chase credit card, or maybe you already have the Freedom Flex or the Freedom Rise, being aware of the best ways to utilize the rewards points will allow you to make much better decisions down the line, which is the whole goal of this channel and why I create the content I do. So if you would, I'd really appreciate you hitting that like or subscribe button because your support really helps me out. On top of that, if you are interested in Chase credit cards, I'm going to be covering more content similar to this on my channel that I think you could really benefit from. So with that said, let's start off by going over the benefits to having the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Now, before I even mention the exact specs for this card, realize that if you get the Chase Freedom Unlimited, you are taking a huge step in your credit card journey that you don't even realize yet. I say that because the Chase Freedom Unlimited is a great basic overall card that once you start using, you'll slowly begin to realize the value in having credit cards. And in today's realm, you need to say bye-bye to your debit cards. But anyways, for the Chase Freedom Unlimited, this card offers 5% cash back on travel when you purchase through the Chase Travel Portal, which basically means you book a flight, hotel, or any other travel activities directly through the Chase website. You can then earn 3% back on dining at restaurants, including takeout and eligible delivery services. You also receive 3% back on drugstore purchases, and then 1.5% on all other miscellaneous expenses. On top of that, your cashback rewards never expire as long as your account is open, and you can use this Freedom Unlimited card at no annual fee. So from using a credit card like this, you are going to get great protection benefits such as liability, purchase, extended warranty, fraud monitoring, and many other great benefits that you wouldn't even think about. For example, I mentioned on a community post that I had some fraud not too long ago, and Chase was able to prevent the purchase from charging me, which was like $600, and then they just gave me a new card with new numbers. Besides that, another big incentive toward getting credit cards, especially with Chase offering such competitive rates, is their welcome bonus for the Freedom Unlimited. Because after you sign up, if you spend $500 or more in the first 3 months from opening the account, you will earn a $200 bonus in the form of Ultimate Rewards points, which if used in the proper ways, which I'll cover more on later in this video, it could be worth well more than $200 of value. Currently, if you decide to sign up, you can get 5% back from gas stations and grocery stores, excluding Target and Walmart, on up to $12,000 spent in the first year. If you are interested in this, I have a link in the description below that can direct you to get started, which if you use that link, it also helps support my channel and is greatly appreciated. So with the Freedom Unlimited, you could use your Ultimate Rewards points to pay directly for travel, get cash back, gift cards, or even through sources like Amazon and PayPal, which I would advise not to do since you get the least points back. Now, those are the rewards you get for only having the Freedom Unlimited. As I mentioned earlier, if you get the Sapphire Preferred or Reserved, you open up much more opportunities to get even better value for your points. Leading off from there, I'm now going to go over the things you need to be aware of. The first, continuing off the reward system, understand how you are using your points, because if you do this through Amazon and PayPal, you're more than likely going to get the worst value you could with your points. Now, yes, you may be someone that wants that because of the convenience, but if I were to guess, you're more than likely going to stick with this card once you start using it, build up your credit score, and I would say more than likely one day to get a Sapphire card. Don't get me wrong, you could easily do the cashback or other alternatives if you want the money right away, but overall, just be aware that the points you earn on the Freedom Unlimited can eventually, in the click of 2 buttons, be converted to a Chase Sapphire card if you decide down the road to get one, and with that, you can get much better value on your Ultimate Rewards points using the Sapphire's travel redemption options. I know I'm mentioning the Sapphire cards a lot, but this is something extremely important that I wish I knew when I was getting started. And just an extra note for you if you are interested, the Sapphire cards do come at an annual fee, and the Preferred is going to be $95 a year, and the Reserved is going to be $550 per year, which they both come along with other great benefits, but I'm going to save that for another video. Now, something else to be aware of is that in order to improve your chance of getting accepted for this Freedom Unlimited, Forbes and Motley Fool state that you'll have a much better chance if your credit score is around 670 or better. If you're someone that doesn't have this score or better, you may want to consider getting something like the Freedom Rise that is meant to build credit for those new or even students. And speaking of credit score, if you are are unaware of this, when you initially get a brand new credit card, your credit score is going to take a small initial dip. But as you increase the length of time of having credit cards and the types of ones that you own, your score is going to go up in time. I wouldn't necessarily worry about that, but more so make sure that you never miss a payment, since that has the biggest weight to your score, as well as the utilization rate. To further explain the utilization rate, say you get a credit card that has a $5,000 credit limit. When the time comes and your payment's due, you want to make sure that your balance is low compared to the total amount you can borrow on that card. Typically, what's considered a good utilization rate is being under 10%, which means that you should have at most $500 on your card's balance right before the statement's closing date. Be aware the utilization rate only computes on that final day the statement is drawn up, so don't be nervous to buy something that's $1,000 on your credit, because if you go into your account and pay it before the statement closing date, it does not affect your utilization. If anything, it helps it by lowering your utilization rate, and you can still get the credit card rewards. So all in all, from a credit score point of view, don't worry about an initial dip in your score. Make sure you pay everything full and on time, and make sure not to have an excessively large amount due compared to the total amount that you can borrow by that closing date. And as far as the Freedom Unlimited, be aware there is a 3% fee charged on foreign transactions, and another huge reason why you need to be paying off your credit on time is because they will charge an APR, which is an annual percentage interest rate, which is 0% for the first 15 months, but after that it can range from 20 to 30% interest, which is insane. All in all, what this means is just don't put more on your credit card than you can afford to pay in full at that time. Alright, so that covers the things you need to be aware of. Let's now shift over to talking about how you can get the max value on your Chase Ultimate Rewards points. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you have either the Sapphire Preferred or Reserved, you are going to gain access to Chase's travel partners. The key here is that you can combine all your points from other cards and put them all into the Sapphire card. And from there, your Ultimate Rewards points can be transferred with a 1-to-1 value to any of the following companies, such as Air Canada, JetBlue, Southwest, United, Marriott, and Hyatt, to name a few. Let me give you a quick example on how this works, because this is something I wish I knew when I was first getting started with Chase credit cards. So let's say you're planning an amazing trip to Hawaii that you want to go with a few friends or even family, so you want to get a suite. Well, the cheapest one would be roughly $1,800 per night, but if you were to use the Chase Ultimate Rewards points, it would cost 66,000 points per night. To convert points to cash, Chase offers 1 cent per point, so that's 66,000 points it would cost per night could be considered as $660 per night if you were to do a cashback or other similar approach with that value. This is just a quick example, but you're pretty much able to get a very nice suite in Hawaii that costs $1,800 a night for the value of $660 if you use your points. And in mathematical terms, instead of getting 1 cent per point, you would now be getting roughly 2.7 cents per point, which that's nearly triple the value of the other options I've already mentioned earlier. Now be aware that having the Sapphire Preferred card allows you to get 1.25 cents per point for travel automatically, and then the Reserved is 1.5 cents per point, but obviously the 2.7 is much better if you were to decide to transfer the points to a travel partner like Hyatt. In the example that I just showed, it would still be better. There are many ways to use the points, and you could do this and actually get much more value than what I even just showed you. I know this may be confusing to understand for the first time, because it definitely was for myself as well, but the more that you use Chase in the reward system, it'll be easier to understand, and you'll be able to get a better feel for how to maximize the value of your points, and continue to watch the content I create on YouTube, because I think you could benefit from that as well. And if you are interested in more Chase content like this, let me know any specific requests you have for me, and I'll do my best to get back to you and create a whole video on that. But if you think about the whole point system and what you're getting out of it, you earn all those points from spending money you would have done otherwise, but now you're just doing it with a Chase credit card. So if you really want, you could think of it as free. With that said, here are my final thoughts on the Freedom Unlimited credit card. First, the Freedom Unlimited is a great credit card if you're someone looking to get cashback rewards on all types of purchases and don't want to juggle around too much with credit cards. Second, if you are looking to use only the Freedom Unlimited card and that's all you want to do, just be aware that there are other cards out there that can get you better rates as far as cashback rewards. The rates aren't a huge difference, but I want to get the Freedom Unlimited if it's going to be the only Chase credit card you ever consider. Besides, the Freedom Flex can get 5% on quarterly rotations, and that can add up a lot in rewards points, especially if you're going to have the goal of transferring your points with a Sapphire card for the purpose of travel. Besides that, the Freedom Unlimited is a great entry-level card if you are looking to build up your credit history and score while getting a reap from the solid welcome bonus and rewards programs programs they offer. On top of that, Chase overall is one of the biggest and best leaders in the industry, so you can be assured that everything is going to be at a high standard, and if you ever need the help, they have a great customer support team that you can call. So getting the Freedom Unlimited card is much more than just choosing one credit card. I believe it's the decision of choosing Chase. If you like what they have to offer and believe in the long term, you're potentially going to get the Sapphire card or even the Chase Trifecta to maximize the value of your points. I think it's a no-brainer going forward. And as I mentioned, if you are interested in signing up, you can get that welcome bonus, which Chase is known for giving out great bonuses. So if you decide to do that and use the link I have in the description below, it does help me out a ton and I'd really appreciate it. But if not, I hope you found value in this content. If you're lost, confused, or stuck on anything, let me know any questions you have in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to help you out as I continue to make Chase credit card content like this. Besides that, if you want to check out any of the free guides to improving your financial knowledge, or even my private newsletter to see my entire investment portfolio and how I allocate my investments, check out the links in the description below. And as always, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notifications button for future Money Talk content like this.